Take 2 of episode 3 of Summer of Terry. We had a little bit of a miscommunication, me and the internet, because I'm an idiot. This is the second time we're going to record the show. I mean, it's not going to be too bad. It was only about 5 to 7 minutes, I'd say. But we started getting to the thick of it. This is episode 3 of Summer of Terry. I'm with Alex, the intern, formerly known as the intern, aka AK93HSS on Twitter. You can follow him there. Alex, the intern, how's it going, buddy?
Pretty good, man. I'm getting ready for my move to San Antonio. I got a brand new job. Got other projects also coming up. So lots of good things coming up for me.
Are you going to switch to being a Spurs fan or what?
Actually, I'm going to follow them.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm going to be a fan yet.
Well, because you're a Lakers fan, right?
Yeah, I love the Lakers, and my low key team is the Mavericks. I love the Mavericks low key, just because of fucking Luca.
Yeah, for sure. Luca's the best.
But yeah, I'll definitely follow the Spurs. I might even go to one of the games. I want to catch Greg Popovich before he retires.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Or maybe you catch him on his last season, his last game. Oh, that'd be
sick.
You go to his last game, that'd be unbelievable. Greg Popovich. So, but we're not going to talk about basketball here. We're going to talk about hockey. We're going to talk about a little bit of the NHL draft, a little bit of Montreal Canadiens finally have a first overall pick, a little bit of who are they going to take, a little bit of people on Twitter aren't real, and is Grant McCagg a real human? We haven't figured that out yet, so
He's
we're
an
going to jump in. We haven't figured that out, so we're going to jump into it right now. So, I mean, since as soon as Shane Wright was sniffing the NHL, everybody knew he was going to be a top 2 pick. I mean, that's just the way it is. You were singing his praises last year. I hadn't known him that much up until that point because, I don't follow the OHL. But at the end of the day, he's getting the buzz. He deserves the buzz. And now all of a sudden there's something that comes in there, and his name is Juraj Slafkovsky, a big winger, massive winger, good player, solid player, deserves to be in the top 3. All of a sudden they're saying like maybe the Habs are going to take him, or maybe they're going to take Logan Cooley, and we don't know. That's why we're talking to Alex, the intern, right now to tell us who will the Habs take and why is it Shane Wright?
So, look, the fan base is pretty dead set on Shane Wright right now. Well, from what I've noticed on Twitter, especially Facebook, they're a little bit weird because I've seen a lot of them. They're like, "Oh, the Habs definitely should take Slafkovsky. We made a mistake with Kotkaniemi, Kachuk, so we definitely have to take Slafkovsky." So that's how
I never understood that logic.
I don't know. They think size matters.
But I get it, but what are those 2 players to do with these 2 players?
Honestly, they just have this PTSD, I guess. With we missed out on Kachuk, so let's not miss out on him. You know what I mean? So I think that's what they also have. I'd say a recency bias. I think that's what it's called. Slafkovsky, played the men's world championship, had a good run against poor teams, not poor, but the ones who are not as strong as he had.
The lower echelon of the international hockey world.
Yeah,
not lower echelon. I mean, lower echelon would be like Greece, I mean, I don't know how good and the Greece ice hockey team is, but I know their ball hockey team is pretty good. But I don't know how good their ice hockey team is. I don't think they've ever really done anything.
Yeah,
I think they got destroyed by Israel one year, and it was Sherbatov scored like a sick goal against them, like 13-1 or something like that. It was crazy.
Sherbatov, yeah, that tells me something.
He plays for Israel,
yeah. But yeah, back to what I was saying with Slafkovsky, he had a good run against teams that aren't necessarily good. He was great against Kazakhstan. The best all-time player of Kazakhstan and Nick Antropov. And
I met him. Nice guy, beauty, huge.
Yeah, he's fucking huge. He's a fucking unit.
He also didn't read my message on Instagram. I was offended.
And I used to have Antropov I used to always transfer Antropov from Atlanta Trashers to the Montreal Canadiens on my NHL games.
Did he
We
have
used
the
to,
blue, did he have the blue visor in the game too?
yeah. He had that whole thing.
Oh, he's so big. He's so big, man. It's crazy how big he is. His kid is actually really good. His kid is very good.
Well, yeah, man, Slafkovsky itself, I see as a recency bias. And Kent Hughes mentioning that he's not looking for the current best player. Because I do think I'd say Slafkovsky has a little bit more maturity, a little bit more uh, NHL ready skills than Wright, I'd say.
Yeah,
However, I do
because he's
see
bigger.
exactly. He's 6'4", and his
230.
parents are huge too. His parents, his mom is 6'4",
What?
and his dad is 6'6", I think.
That's his mom's 6'4". If his mom's 6'4", that means he's gonna be 7 feet tall. Like this. Just,
Exactly. So one thing that I'm worried about Zovkovsky is that he becomes 6'6", because he's still
yeah, I
18
mean,
years
listen,
old.
he's also filled up, right? Like, so he's not like he's 6'4", he's 230. He's not 6'4", 210 or 205 or even 190. He's 6'4", 230. It's like he's got a big frame, so he's holding up his body. I'm not really worried about that. If he gains 2 inches, it really won't hurt him that as much as you would think, because he's got a big frame. If he was slender, I think he'll be fine. I think he's going to be a fantastic forward. He'll be great. But for the Habs need right now,
But
if
but
they're
Terry,
not
how
taking Wright, they're taking Cooley. That's just basically what I see. The way I
but
see it.
realistically speaking, if he ends up being 6'6", how many 6'6" wingers do you know that have actually had success in the NHL?
Uh,
6'6"
how
wingers.
6'6" wingers. I mean, those usually those are the bruisers.
Exactly. Michael McCarron.
Oh, I remember him. Fuck. Wasn't he a center? No, he wasn't a center.
I wonder how tall Patrick Laine is. I think he's 6'4", right?
He's a pretty big boy too. I mean, Pacioretty is about 6'4" also.
6'3", I
Uh,
think.
yeah, he's more 6'4" though. Like he's a big
Yeah.
guy. You don't realize it, but like Kachuk is like 6'4".
Yeah.
You don't realize, but he's a fucking monster. So like guys like that. Tom Wilson is about 6'3". Um,
Yeah, but when you think of 6'6", you think 6'6", you think of a defenseman, right? You don't think of a forward.
oh yeah,
It's
for sure. I
like,
mean, but the thing is, humans were getting bigger. We've been getting bigger out throughout time, right? So it's the scales just balancing out. I don't think that the size, like I've seen kids like 6'6" and they're super lanky and they can't move, and I've seen kids at 7 feet that are filled up at the same age and they're like super athletic. Now, obviously, I'm
well,
exaggerating
yeah,
the size, but
you look at the basketball players. Yeah, they're super athletic. They're
yeah, if you look at what's that guy Bogdanovich, the big guy there, you know what I mean? Like him, like the guy that played in the movie Hustle, him and the other guy that played in the movie Hustle, they're the same height, but they're both made differently. You know what I mean? So it all depends on your body. I mean, Slafkovsky, he's huge and he moves really well, and he's a monster. He's gonna be good. I just don't think it's what the Habs need right now. I just don't.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think, judging by Kent Hughes' press conference, he mentioned, "Hey, I want the best player when once he reaches 22, 23, 24. He's not actually looking for the best player at the moment. And that, to me, the way I interpret that is it's between Cooley and Wright. Cooley has an amazing potential. He's been compared to Sebastian Aho, which I'm sorry, like I'd love a Sebastian Aho in the Habs.
Oh yeah. I mean, who wouldn't?
Yeah,
The guy's fucking nasty.
and listen, I don't really like the comparisons to Bergeron. I've mentioned it on Twitter. Uh, I just don't see Wright reaching that defensive level of Bergeron, and that's why I see him more as a. And others have said it before me, Mika Zibanejad, who we've seen this past playoffs, amazing run, uh, scored. I don't even know how many goals, had many points, um, but overall, Mika Zibanejad is a great comparable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not nothing to be shy of. But if we have a Sebastian Aho, that's very dynamic. Um, he can, skate pretty well. He covers a lot of ice. So honestly, as much as everyone's going to be shocked at first, I wouldn't. I'm actually favoring Cooley over Slavkovsky. I think Cooley will bring us more long term than
Yeah,
Slavkovsky.
he fits the need,
However,
right?
how,
You can always get a big winger. I mean,
yeah, free agency, trade deadline. You
exactly.
can always you can always get them. Um, because honestly, the only time I'd pick a winger over a center is when we're talking about Ovechkin. It's when we're talking about Patrick Kane. Is
Yeah.
when we're talking about wingers who are actually making a huge difference on the
Hmm.
ice. Slavkovsky, I haven't seen that difference maker aspect of him yet. So
Yeah, if you're gonna be the winger, like the guy, you got to be like a fucking sniper. Like you got to be a goal a game in any tournament you're playing in. You know what I mean? Like that's basically what you have to. If you miss out a game, you don't score the next one. You got to bury three. That's just how it is. And I just don't feel like Slavkovsky has that. He does have first round talent. I mean, there's no
yeah,
doubting
for
that. I
sure.
mean, for
Yeah.
what he's done, just looking at his stats and everything like that. But overall, I mean, let's I think people are just looking past Shane Wright. The only reason why is because people are always fascinated by something new, and Slavkovsky's name was new, and all these people are like, oh yeah, it's true. What about this guy? Oh, I just want to be different, so I'm gonna say people just want to be different at this point, and whatever the Habs do, whatever Hughes does, and I honestly up until this point he hasn't stirred us wrong or any. He's been honest, he's been up for it, and I think that he's gonna go right or Cooley, like you said. I mean, that's just basically what it is.
And I think ultimately they'll pick Wright. I think that's because of I'd say also size, man. Cooley's the same size as Suzuki, and Shane Wright is 6'1", almost 6'2".
Yeah.
So I'd say honestly, well, he's 6'1", yeah, not 6'2". But I'd go more with the Shane Wright route instead of Cooley. It's going to give us a little bit more size. He's obviously bigger than Cooley as well.
Who are the Habs going to take number 26? So the Habs got 2 first round picks this year. They got for their trade with for Toffoli. They got a first round pick from the Calgary Flames. So what are they going to do with that pick? As far deep as that goes into the draft, Alex, I know nothing. Absolutely nothing.
So here's my hot take. There's no way the Habs pick 26. I think the Habs are moving up 100%.
Yeah, for
Either to get up in the either move a couple spots or even go for or even swing for the fences. They could even go top 10 again. So Jeff Gorton is known to move up.
mm-hmm.
He's done it a lot of times with the Rangers over the past 4 years. I'd say he kept moving. The past 4 drafts of Jeff Gorton, he moved up in all 4 of those drafts.
Oh, really?
He moved up to pick Keandre Miller, who uh, he's a great defenseman right now.
Yeah, he
He
had a great playoff this year.
moved up to get Brandon Schneider,
Another one.
another one, and I'm missing a couple others, but he moved up and nailed every single of his moved up
So
picks.
who are the top 10? Who in the top 10 is willing to move up?
Right now, as we're speaking, it's the Ottawa Senators. Uh, the New Jersey Devils are open to trading the number 2 overall pick, but
Oh,
that's the Habs are going to have to give up a little bit more.
yeah, Child Caulfield, that's for sure.
I think the Devils are going to ask for Caulfield.
Yeah, it's the only player they would want.
Some people were mentioning, hey, with Josh Anderson plus the 26 plus let's say Logan Mailloux would be enough. I'm
Oh,
like,
no.
it's a little bit short.
I'd rather throw the 33rd pick in there than Logan Mailloux. No, for real. No, I'm saying like the kid's going to be good, and you're giving up a lot at that point because Josh Anderson still has a big piece on this team, so it's not like he's like kind of like declining. He's still playing well. You know, he's still playing his style. He's still earning what he's supposed to earn. Then you're giving a prospect on top of that. The only player the Devils would want, logistically, really, really want, is Caulfield. I
Of
mean,
course.
just to partner up with the Hughes brothers just there is going to
Yeah,
be fantastic with them.
because Jack Hughes already has that chemistry with Cole.
Yeah.
So obviously that would be their starting point. I
And
don't.
all three of them would play for Team USA. Like it's just going to be. It would be it would be another. That would actually be so sick if it was Hughes, and Caulfield. Now that I'm thinking about it, it
Yeah,
would actually be sick. Let's bring on the Hughes guys. Trade the house for the Hughes brothers. Bring them to Montreal. They play for the Canadiens and the Americans. Imagine.
man. At the moment, I'm so fucking stuck with Suzuki. Like
Yeah, he's good.
because technically to get Hughes, we'd have to give up Suzuki.
Yeah.
We there's no way around it.
Yeah.
So I think the New Jersey Devils trade to the second pick is a pipe dream. If it happens, I'm falling off my fucking chair.
Yeah.
Oh, and we're gonna be on live stream, are we?
For the draft?
Yeah.
It's a good question, actually.
Okay. But anyways,
No,
while you're
because
looking at that,
I might be working. Yeah. Sorry. Okay,
while you're looking at that, well, me and John said we're gonna be on live stream.
Okay, cool.
But back to what I was saying. The Ottawa Senators are looking for a player who's ready right now because that Pierre Dorion, he said the rebuild is done. I want to compete starting from next year. So they're ready to move the number 7 pick for a player who's ready right now, an NHL player right now. So people were again throwing Josh Anderson into that conversation, which look,
And this is to Ottawa?
Yeah, to Ottawa. And that's the one thing I don't want.
It's tough.
Interdivision trade. I hate those because those trades it basically marks your career as a GM because if you fuck up that trade, it's gonna haunt you. It's gonna haunt you. It's gonna haunt you
forever. I mean, listen, it depends on the situation. I mean, listen, Josh Anderson can go. Let's say we trade Josh. Thinking about Josh Anderson and the Ottawa Senators actually gives me anxiety because I know it's going to be a good rivalry. I know it's going to be a good rivalry. That's why, and I don't want to hate Josh Anderson.
I really can't
Big Dick
picture
Josh, right? Big Dick Josh.
Yeah.
I don't have the picture on StreamYard anymore, but Big Dick Josh. We love.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. I can't picture him in that jersey. I can picture him in any other jerseys except maybe Toronto and Boston, but I can't picture him in a rival jersey. I can't.
Yeah, I don't want to see that shit. I want to see JA stay here forever.
Personally, my trade that I would love to make is sending Jeff Petrie over to Detroit.
For
the number 8 pick.
Oh,
to pick up.
You think they would do that? They're a team that's kind of rebuilding. I don't know if Yzerman would do that.
But Yzerman is also looking for a support for Sider. So to basically complete the top 4 of defensemen.
Yeah, I guess Petrie fits that for sure. And they don't have a lot of cap, right? Well, I mean, they have a lot of cap space. Is what I mean.
We can always get a contract back as well.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So the number 8 pick and the guy would pick at number 8, Jonathan Lekkerimäki.
Oh, that's a good name.
Lekkerimäki. That's such a sex porno name. It's like
Yorkie Paka was another one. Yeah, Yorkie Paka was a good name.
Yeah, it sounds a bit like Johnny Sins,
Yeah, the Finnish version.
It's gonna be Johnny Lekkerimäki.
Yeah, exactly. Johnny K-O with a capital N and 3 I's.
Johnny Mackey. Johnny Mackey.
In Finland.
But yeah, the reason why I'm looking at Jonathan Lekkerimäki is because he's a sniper. He scores goals, and I think that's the perfect complement to have 2 duos, have Shane Wright Caulfield, and have Lekkerimäki and Wright, and that would be our duos on a top 6, and the rest will be gaps. We can just basically switch, have whatever the player we want, and switch up whenever
and play it around.
Exactly, and just basically make trade deadline moves.
I mean, I love when they announce trades. I love when they announce trades. I mean, it's yeah, no, for real. It's probably one of the best parts of the draft is when Gary
I
Bettman just gets up
wish
there
I, I
when
I
trades
wish
to announce.
I wish the NHL had the same sound as the NFL.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I wish they had that sound.
Oh, does that sound broadcast in the room? Like everybody hears it?
I think so.
Oh, I thought it was only for the broadcast.
I think yeah. Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense because of now I'm thinking about the audio. It does sound like it comes
I've never
from
been to
there.
an actual draft, and and that's one of my goals, lifetime goals. Go
Your,
to a
your,
draft.
your bucket
What
list.
yeah, it has to be on my bucket list.
I went to the draft when we drafted Louis Leblanc. I was here.
I wanted to go to that one, but I was too young, bro.
Ah, oh, it's true. Yeah. So we went. That's where I met Rob Schremp for the first time there. I think he actually got us tickets. Now that I think about it, but yeah, so that was cool. You know, like you're in the Bell Center and you see all the GMs, and we had pretty good seats too. And you see all the GMs, and they're all just like there on the phone talking, walking to each other's tables. You know, like we're looking at all
And he
in
got
like
leaked,
work.
and his pick got leaked because there's a person that took a picture and it said Louis Leblanc on the
Oh, really?
number 15th. That was his pick. Yeah, they were saying Louis Leblanc, and everyone saw it. It was crazy.
That's too funny.
Uh,
That's too funny. Well,
and
this is
as
go. Sorry, go.
and as for number 33 pick, if he falls down to us, I would either go with Nathan Gaucher.
Mm.
I see him being as a great shutdown third line center. He plays for the Quebec Remparts, and this year he had more than a point per game as a second center at the team. So, and next year he's going to have a first line center role, which I think he's going to get a lot more points. He's going to grow even more. So I think Nathan Gaucher is like a Patrice Bergeron pick, where he's
Too
going
many
to
people
come.
comparing too many people to Patrice Bergeron. I
He's
feel
the
like we're cheapening
standards.
the name a bit. I think we're cheapening the name of Patrice Bergeron at this point. No, I'm not. No, it's not necessarily just against you, but I just feel like every time there's a French Canadian center, it's like, oh, he's like Patrice Bergeron. Well, the thing is that Patrice Bergeron, nobody knew who he was, and then until he became who he was, like he wasn't like a highly
And Terry, who did we pick? Who did we pick ahead of Bergeron?
was that Kostitsin's year?
No, no, no. It was
David Fisher?
Corey Urquhart. Who the fuck is that guy?
Corey, we drafted Corey Urquhart in the first round.
No, second round. No, Bergeron
Oh,
was second
Bergeron was in
round.
the second round. What was who did we take in the first round that year?
Good question, actually. I don't even know.
So the way I see it is that when people say why they draft that guy in the second round, they could have drafted this guy. Every team gave up that guy at least once. So after the first round, you can't make that statement anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's
Because if he was good enough, if Patrice Bergeron was if you knew what Patrice Bergeron was going to be like today, then you would draft him first overall, right?
yeah, of course.
That's the hindsight being 2020. Probably wouldn't have done it the same way. But the thing is that we're too easy to jump and compare it to Bergeron. I think
Okay.
he's had like maybe Nathan Gaucher is gonna have like this second round, not really like maybe he will. I just think we're very quick. We're very quick
Yeah, and I
to
think
give
Gaucher,
any
like I
French
said,
Canadian center.
look, we had Raphael Lavoie on our podcast, and even him, the French media was saying he's going to be our first round pick instead of Caulfield.
Oh,
You know how, like
I mean,
this
no disrespect to him, but right?
Lavoie himself, if you remember correctly, Lavoie himself said the Habs made the right pick.
Yeah.
So it's not like he knew. So and but anyways, back to what I was saying, Nathan Gaucher would be a great third line center, even with potential of being a second center. So having that great center line that we might have might start with Nathan Gaucher as our third center, basically.
What?
Or so I was even thinking Nathan Gaucher, or the second guy would be Lane Hudson. Beauty left-handed defenseman. Yeah, I know it's not a lefty, but the guy knows how to fucking transport the puck from end to end. He could be a fucking sleeper pick uh, at the beginning of the second round, the 33rd pick.
There you go, Alex, the intern. I mean, did Marco put out his draft analysis yet? His draft list yet? I don't think he has.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
They put up their his rankings
oh,
is
they did.
up,
Okay,
and also his mock draft is up as well.
there you go. So maybe one day, Alex, you'll make your own.
If I have time,
too much
man.
work. It's too much work.
Too
These
much.
guys,
work.
I appreciate when guys like Marco D'Amico do. Go check him out on Twitter.
If I was getting
Marco
paid
and
for it,
D'Amico, yeah.
If I was actually getting paid for it, like a full-time job, I'd do it.
No for sure. I mean, it's not my type of thing to like research. It's not like
I like
show it to me and I'll understand it.
I like analyzing stuff. So,
so I mean, go check out Marco's. Hopefully the Habs don't fuck it up this year. But if we draft Wright, is he playing next year? Who knows? Maybe yes, maybe no. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think there's a rush for him either. So
yeah, it's going to depend on the camp and the preseason. Let's see what he does.
But if he's the second best center coming out of camp, then might as well at this point.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see.
Cooley's definitely going to back. Yeah. Cooley's definitely going back to college. He's committed already. But yeah, Wright is really up in the air, honestly, at this point.
So let's see what they do tomorrow night, because this is going to be going out on July 6th. So tomorrow night, the Habs in Montreal have the first overall pick. The Habs haven't had a first overall pick since what year? 1980?
1980, and Doug Wickenheiser was the number one pick.
1980, Doug Wickenheiser. Will Shane Wright be the Doug Wickenheiser of the 21st century? Let's see if Ken Hughes and Jeff Gordon can get this right. If they don't get it right and they go whatever they want to do, if they don't go right and they go Slaf, they go Cooley, they go. If they think Nathan Gaucher is the next Patrice Bergeron and they draft him first overall, I'm not going to care until I see the kid play hockey.
Oh, and one last thing I want to say. Yesterday, Ken Hughes in a press conference said, "I do not know who's my first overall pick yet." Yesterday, and he has 2 more days to think about it. So, do you think that's a poker game or
no? Because if you listen to the wording of it, I don't know who my first overall pick is yet, because he hasn't made his first overall pick yet. So he's only going to, what he's saying is, I'm only going to know when I make the pick. So he doesn't mean that he's 50-50. All that means is that he hasn't made the pick yet. That's all it means.
Yeah, because the whole media world is like worried, like, oh my God, he doesn't know what he's doing yet. And shit like that.
Listen, I think the amount that we've seen Shane Wright talking about Montreal and how he wants to play for Montreal and all that, I think that's just, these are things that are adding to him, and he's going to end up winning. Even if it's 50-50, he's going to end up winning it. So let's see what happens tomorrow night. Hopefully they get it done. We get it done right, and hopefully everybody enjoys. All the supporters. I know a bunch of people are Habs Twitter people are flying in to go to the draft. To every one of them, have fun. It's a blast. I went to. I
wish I was there.
I went to the draft when Louis LeBlanc was drafted in the first round. Local kid, West Island. And everybody went nuts. So I can only imagine when if they make the pick first overall, everybody's going to go nuts. First overall pick, we haven't had it since 1980. Alex, I appreciate you coming on, man, for episode 3 of Summer of Terry. We'll continue this going forward. We'll do a follow-up, and hopefully we do that live stream.
Yeah, stay tuned for a live stream. Hopefully it happens, yeah.
So tomorrow night, live stream, we'll talk and we'll figure it out. Till then, peace.
Peace.